I just don't get it anymore. I just don't. I mean, I don't know what it is. People of today, they have a sense of humor. I mean, they say something that's funny. When they say something funny to me about something, like, I just don't get it. And keep in mind, I mean, I have a sense of humor, but I just don't understand just what's so funny nowadays. I just don't. And we live in an we live in an era, we live in a day and age now where people can get offended over every little thing, every little thing. I mean, they're I mean, people nowadays are just too soft. And me having a sense of humor, like, I'm afraid to say something funny and do impressions. I mean, people. I might be called an idiot, or people just don't understand where I'm coming from when it comes to being funny. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the type of person to offend someone and go out of my way to offend them, but I'm not that type of person. So yeah, I just don't understand how to make people laugh. I don't understand what's funny today. Maybe I've been living under a rock for so long, for so many years. I don't know. Well, enough of that. I want to talk about two countries. That's right, two countries, and these countries are Australia and New Zealand. I never been to, I never been to any of these countries, but I would like to go to these countries. But I just want to talk about, well, I'm going to talk about how, like, stories I heard about, this country, and stuff I heard about. Excuse me. I just want to talk about how these how things are in both of these countries. Australia and New Zealand. Um, I'm going to start with Australia, or the Commonwealth of Australia. Um, yeah, it's a country with 6 states and one territory. South Australia, Western Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, and the Northern Territory. And I heard something about the Northern Territory. Um, I heard that when Australia was formed, Northern Australia was basically a part of South Australia. Then it became separate from South Australia. What I heard, it was going to be called Kingsland, named after, I guess, King Edward, or wherever his name is. Um, yeah, they had the name change for the Northern Territory, or the Northern Territory, as the Aussies call it. It was, yeah, the name changed. The name changed to Kingsland was was going to be set, but it never went through. So the Northern Territory just remained the Northern Territory. Um, People in Australia. I heard stories that people in Australia are easygoing, laid back, friendly people. Um, I heard stories from people saying that some people in Australia, in Sydney, in New South Wales, um, they're snooty and they're stuck up, and they think they're better than everybody. That's what I heard. I also heard stories that some Australians are crazy. Um, you know, um, they're just out there. So that's what I heard. Don't know much about the people of the people of Australia. Actually, when I worked at a store called TJ Maxx in Longview, Texas, um, there was this woman who was from Australia. Um, don't know what her name is. She just went there. She just went shopping there with friends. I went and talked to her. She wasn't happy to see. She wasn't happy to see me talk to her. Like she just didn't care. Maybe the fact that I was just like saying something that was just annoying to her. I don't remember what I said. You know, it was I said something that was dumb, and I saw the look on her face like she just didn't care. And, I guess the way I was acting. I was acting like an idiot, just happy and being friendly, and and she just didn't care. She just went there just to shop. And how I found out about her is I heard the other associates were talking about her, people that I worked with. So yeah, yeah. Also, there's some things I know about Australia. There was this show there was this show on the Travel Channel that I watched like a long time ago. Back in the late '90s and early 2000s. It was this show that featured this guy from Australia. It was a show that featured this guy from Australia named Albie Mangles, and he traveled to different countries. Then he did shows on countries that he traveled to. Then and this woman who accompanied him was a model was a model from Australia. Her name was Lucinda. I think that's her name. She was gorgeous, and the footage was from the '80s, so it was really old. And I was fascinated by the show, and in the host of the show, Albie Mangles. Also from Australia, I watched a guy who did a show in the outback. Um, a farmer, he worked with indigenous Australians who worked on the farms. The indigenous Australians are called Aborigines or Australian Aborigines, and it opened a door to me and showed me what Australia is all about. I also watched some other shows about Australia. I saw Uluru or Ayers Rock, out in the outback. I heard that Ayers Rock or Uluru was something sacred to the Australian Aborigines who lived out in the outback. People who climbed the rock and threw trash around it was the indigenous Australians, and I think people stop throwing trash around and stop walking on top of it, and the people, the citizens, like apologize to the indigenous Australians, and also I've watched the indigenous Australians, their culture is kind of strange, okay, they're hunter gatherers, and if you and I saw that like a guy spent the night with these people, and when he woke up the next morning, they just left them behind. They just walked away and just left them behind. And so that's kind of odd. And I saw some about one of the Aborigines were rolling around and on the ground, and they rolled into a campfire, and they got their backs burnt up. So to me, like, oh, that was dumb, but it's just part of their culture. So yeah, a lot of just little interesting stuff about Australia, and also I know about Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, the guy that died off the coast of Australia when he was like swimming around the Great Barrier Reef, and he got stung by a stingray that killed him, and he drowned and died. Um, Before he died, he walked around. He grabbed like dangerous, vicious animals, like anything, like And me and my sister, we saw that, and like my sister called him an idiot, But I looked at like, I mean, I mean, it'd be scary if one of those deadly animals like bit this guy. I saw on a videotape that when he was holding up a dangerous, deadly animal or insect, whatnot, he got bitten by one, and he cursed during a taping of some sort. So yeah, yeah, the country's known for the movie Mad Max, and Paul Hogan, the comedian who did the Crocodile Dundee movies. Um, I didn't see the Crocodile Dundee movies. I saw one called Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. Saw that movie. It was a good movie. So yeah, Also, yeah, you got singers that come out of that country like Men at Work and ACDC. I don't listen to their music. And also there's this thing that paste that the Aussies like put on their food. It's called Vegemite. Vegemite. I mean, lot of outsiders ate it, and they said it was disgusting and gross. So if I'm in Australia, I'm not gonna go try Vegemite. I probably ain't gonna like it. Um, yeah. Okay. Enough of Australia. Gonna go to New Zealand. Go across the Tasman Sea to New Zealand. New Zealand. Yeah. Um, don't know that much about this country, but there's this radio station that I listen to on TuneIn Radio every Sunday. It's called ZB Radio. It's a popular radio station in New Zealand. And I listened to this guy named Bruce Russell, and he talked about how things are in New Zealand. He was talking about the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, is said that she's not doing a good job as Prime Minister, whatnot. Yeah. Wow. And he talked about people from other countries who praise New Zealand and praise other countries are strange people, and and people from other countries think that New Zealand is all sunshine and lollipops, which is not true. I mean, this is I'm quoting what Bruce Russell is saying on ZB Radio in New Zealand. Uh yeah, I listen to him, I don't know if he's conservative or not. I don't know, but I don't know if he's telling the truth about, well, yeah, how New Zealand is, but I'm not going to think that New Zealand is perfect because all countries have problems. I mean, they have problems. I mean, they're not far from perfect. I mean, they have their pros and cons. So I'm not going to assume that New Zealand is a wonderful place and it's not. I'm heard about Maui gangs of some sort beating up old people. That's what I heard from Bruce Russell. Yeah, and you got the anti-vax people in that country. And they exist in Australia as well. So I took a look at some I went on Google Maps and took a look at parts of New Zealand, and parts of New Zealand is gorgeous. It is. I saw some things. I saw some Google Map imagery about of Australia. So yeah, um yeah, so that's all I know about these two countries. But yeah, the people of New Zealand, look like they're like, I saw some people, on YouTube. I mean, some people from New Zealand, like some of them, like I saw some of them, like a family. They look all nice and perfect. And I saw a guy, like he's okay, like he's a nice guy. Doesn't crack a smile and anything, but yeah, also I went back and forth in the comment section of a video from someone from New Zealand called New Zealand Trucks. It's just a YouTube channel that features semis going along roadways in New Zealand, and I said some that got someone from New Zealand to comment on me when I dropped a comment on one of those videos on that channel. I talked about a Eurotunnel style tunnel being built, which will link New Zealand with Australia under the Tasman Sea, and this person said it it's too dangerous. It's too much movement. It sounds like a movement. Too much movement. Sounds like a earthquake or some sort. So sounds to me it was dangerous. I was just suggesting it. I was just giving my thoughts, and this person said this to me, and laugh out loud. New Zealand and Australia doesn't have the money to do this, and that's a European thing. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I was just saying that. I mean, what do I care? Like, I don't live in New Zealand. I mean, I don't live in New Zealand. I don't live in Australia. So it's just something that I want to talk about. Oh no, yeah. Anyway, you know, I think I need to stop going back and forth and do a lot of bickering with people online here on YouTube, because I rage some wars with some wackos on YouTube. Yeah, but yeah, most of them are from Canada and the United States, but not from people in Europe, Africa, Australia, New Zealand. So yeah, back to New Zealand and Australia. Should I visit these two countries? Yeah, I would. And I asked my sister, does she want to go to New Zealand? And she told me this. I mean, I don't want to go to. I think it was Australia. She asked me. I asked her, do you want to go to Australia? And she said, no, I don't want to go there. Uh, there's too. They got too many dangerous animals and insects there that will kill you. And I said, well, you gotta go there with a guide. Someone tell you to stay away, to keep away from dangerous animals and insects. Yeah, I know they exist there, and I know this. So yeah, yeah, but I don't know about the Australian Aborigines. I mean, I don't know about those guys. Um, they might leave me hanging and leave me in danger. So I guess I'm with them. I'm, I guess I'm on my own. But I'm just gotta take it as a grain of salt. Yeah, but overall, uh, I mean, I don't think there's good and bad in Australia, and there's good and bad in New Zealand. So I'm not gonna sit there and think that everybody is wonderful and peachy and good in Australia and New Zealand. I'm not gonna think that, And also, also there's a nurse that I see before I see my doctor. I mean, it's a woman, and she's from New Zealand, and her name is Ingrid. She's a really nice old lady. She checks my blood pressure. She checks me out, and before my doctor, who is from India, comes and sees me. So yeah, so I deal with a foreigner doctor and a foreigner nurse. So yeah, it's interesting. I got I got a nurse who checks me out, checks my blood pressure, who's from New Zealand. It has me sign paperwork for my blood work, so the doctor from India comes in and takes blood from me to check my health, to see what's going on with my health. So and Ingrid, she's a really nice old lady, and she is, yeah, yeah, she's very talkable, I tried to talk to her when she was like checking me, like she was pay attention to checking my heart rate and all, And I noticed, so I shut up. So yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. If I go to Australia, New Zealand, I'm gonna run into some crap, and I'm gonna run into something good. So I gotta take it as it is. And also, before I end this video, there was this guy who were dropping strange comments on videos on my channel. His name is Knowledge Variable. The guy who's been dropping comments saying that do you want to be my daddy, and telling me to do a video about the Illuminati and do a video about Dog G and I love you so much, and all these strange comments. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand the guy because he's from Australia. No, I don't understand how Australians are, but he doesn't understand me, and I don't understand him. So I don't know if he's trying to be funny or not. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But I blocked him because he was dropping strange comments, and it kind of like made me uncomfortable. I don't hate the guy, but I noticed his comments disappeared off of my video, so I went and unblocked him. So he probably heard this. He probably watching this video. He's probably gonna drop a comment. So I just gotta just suck it up and take his strange comments. And also, he enjoyed the videos on my channel, and he has. So I haven't checked out his channel, so I'll probably, if I build up the nerve to check out Knowledge Variables YouTube channel, I'll go and check it out. Saw some videos of him doing like ghost and absurd and weird and funny videos. Maybe he'll give me ideas on what to do on my second channel, which is a channel that I just do impressions on. So yeah. Okay, I heard about a restaurant called Hungry Jack's. And I did some research about Hungry Jack's, and it's called Hungry Jack. Yeah, Hungry Jack. I did some research on Hungry Jack. Come to find out, is Australia's version of Burger King. So yeah, Burger King made its way to Australia, but instead of Burger King having the name Burger King in Australia, it has the name Hungry Jack. And before I did research on it, I mean, I was watching some videos on a YouTuber's channel called let's see, Raka 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 Raka. I think I subscribed to that channel. Raka Raka is a channel from that's run by a bunch of guys from Australia, and I saw Hungry Jack's and I thought it was just a parody of Burger King. Come to find out, after I did research, it was actually real. I said, "This is real? Is this is true?" A Burger King style place called Hungry Jack's or Hungry Jack, and I also watched some YouTube videos about an old guy from the States, America, the United States. He was sitting inside a Hungry Jack fast food place, and he ordered a Whopper there. This Whopper, when he ordered this Whopper was huge. It was big. I said, "Wow." I mean, if I eat that, like that's a lot of cholesterol right there. But I don't know how the food is in Australia, so I don't know. Maybe it's nothing like the food in America, because America has a lot of chemicals and preservatives and artificial ingredients and junk in it. So I don't know if food in Australia has this or not. It's probably, the food there is probably like as healthy as food in Britain and Canada. So yeah, so the Hungry Jacks thing was just caught my eye, just caught me off guard. Hungry Jack. Huh. Yeah, and also they got McDonald's there. They call McDonald's Mackers. So when I hear him say Mackers, they're talking about McDonald's. Okay, Australia and New Zealand. I mean, they have something in common. They were both former colonies within the British Empire. They both they both they're both left-hand traffic countries. People drive on the left there, and they both use the metric system. Um, the Prime Minister of Australia is Scott Morrison, and the Prime Minister of New Zealand is Jacinda Ardern. And both Australia and New Zealand, they both share Queen Elizabeth II, who is their monarch, and she's and Queen Elizabeth II is Queen of Australia, and she's Queen of New Zealand. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth II, I heard she's not in good health. I mean, she was gonna attend this G climate summit, but she was bad in health. I mean, yeah, if she dies, then her son, Prince Charles, is going to become King Charles, and King Charles is going to be king of Australia, the Commonwealth of Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and other countries within the Commonwealth realm. Yeah. Also, I'm going back to the prime ministers. Prime Minister Scott Morrison of Australia and Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand. Scott Morrison. I heard some stories that from some Aussies that in the comment section of videos that featured Scott Morrison that he lied about things about France, complaining about these submarines being taken away or some sort, and also heard that Scott Morrison ran away to Hawaii to go on holiday there, while Australia was dealing with bushfires that had the country on fire. So yeah, sounds to me Scott Morrison sounds like he's not a good PM, and going over across the Tasman Sea to New Zealand, going to Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, people like Bruce Russell, saying that saying that Jacinda Ardern has a dark side and she's mean spirited, and some New Zealanders or Kiwis told me in the comments on videos on my channel that Jacinda Ardern is insane slash crazy and she belongs in a nut house, and she shouldn't be she shouldn't be running New Zealand, and her story is that she's doing a good job running New Zealand. Her story is that she's not doing a good job running New Zealand. So I don't know. So politicians are politicians. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, just want to just say this. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. Just saying. Also, I'm doing this video wearing sunglasses so I won't be blinded by the light on the on the camera on my smartphone, so I won't blind myself. Doing this video. So yeah, I did videos in the past with this thing, and I'm blind myself, so that's why I'm wearing sunglasses. Yeah, I look weird and scary, so yeah. So this one just add things about Australia, New Zealand, two great countries to go and visit. So yeah, so those two countries are in my list. So will I get along with the Kiwis and the Aussies? Will I get along with these people? I might get along with some. I won't get along with others. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, that's all I gotta say in this video. Cheers. Do you come from a land down under, where women glow and men plunder? Can't you hear? Can't you hear the thunder? You better run. You better take cover. Uh, Don't know nothing about the women there, so I don't know if they glow or not. So just gotta find out when I go to Australia one day.